The Crushing Cuisine event is almost here. We've been telling you about it all week long. It actually kicks off tonight with the uncorked, unplugged, unabashed Royal Tasting, which will be hosted by our own Ryan Phillips. He'll be hosting that. And here to give us a little Wine 101 prep course is Peter Rapole from Kendall Jackson Winery, one of my favorites. Welcome, Peter. It's good to see you.
Well, thank you for having me here today.
All right. Tell me, what's going to be happening at your big event, which happens tomorrow, right?
Well, tomorrow at 11:30, I'm going to be doing a Cabernet Sauvignon blending seminar. And the seminar is based around the Kendall Jackson Grand Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. The Grand Reserve tier for us at Kendall Jackson is a higher end tier. Most of your audience is probably familiar with Vintner's Reserve. When it comes to Grand Reserve, it's the top 2 to 3% of our juice. And it's done on a lot selection. So what I had our winemakers do for this seminar is they have sent in 2009 barrel samples. It's an exciting time for them out in California because they are getting ready to make the blends that will make up the 2009 Grand Reserve Cabernet in the next couple of months. And the way they do this is they taste each individual block, which I have 5 of them here. They're the primary block components of Grand Reserve. They'll taste through and they'll start blending. And the reason why they blend is they blend for complexity. Each one of these individual components, they all come from Sonoma County, from 2 different AVAs, being Alexander Valley and Knights Valley. They all have their own unique flavor profile. And we blend for complexity. So if you think about being, say, a chef in the kitchen, and you're making a sauce, you may start with reducing some red wine, then add some stock, then add some, maybe some parsley, some salt and pepper. Each of those components adds layer of flavor and complexity. Our winemakers do the same thing when they blend for our Grand Reserve wines.
And so now folks are going to get to actually do that tomorrow, right?
Exactly. They get to be part of the winemaking process. And again, this is very similar to what our winemakers do when they comprise a Grand Reserve blend. They'll actually go through and they use these surgical pipettes, and they go through and they pull certain percentages of each of the wines, blend into a blending class, and then taste and adjust the percentages based upon taste until they get the final blend.
Well, I like your seminar, the Wine Prep 101 course, because it is educational. So often you go to a wine tasting and you just taste, which I don't mind, but you're going to get some education, and wine has become so big in this country now.
Yeah, it's become such a great part of our culture now, and you're absolutely right. This is a very unique event. So many of these events that are done in South Florida or all over the country are these grand tastings, which we're going to do tonight, starting at 6 o'clock, but there's food, there's wine, you taste, but oftentimes they lack the educational component, and that's what Saturday or tomorrow is all about. There's a series of these seminars. So again, mine's from 11:30 to 12:30. It's almost sold out, so go to the website, sign up. I think there's a couple of spots left, but it should be a fantastic day and a fantastic event.
All right, let's talk about Kendall Jackson, because I've been drinking this wine for years, and it's so great to find someone and talk to someone who really has an education and knowledge of it. What makes it a great wine? I mean, what is it about the vineyard, the soil, or the region where it's grown that makes it exceptional, especially for the price?
Great question. Well, first of all, we're a family-owned company. We were founded in 1982 by our owner, Jess Jackson. And that gives us control of our vineyards. In fact, we own about 14,000 planted acres of vineyards, all in coastal California. We are the largest coastal California winery grower producer in California. And having control from start to finish makes a difference when it comes to the quality, as opposed to buying off of the bulk market or buying from growers. We are estate grown.
Now, let me ask you this. Okay, folks who come out to the seminar tomorrow and they get to taste the wines, what kinds of questions should they ask you so they make their wine experience in the future a better one?
You know what? There are no bad questions. There's no specific questions that anybody needs to ask. If you
just drink?
Exactly. Well, that's the fun part of it. I mean, come on, that's what we're all there to do, is to have a drink. But no, you know what? Specifically for tomorrow, I think the blending component piece is going to be a lot of fun for people, because so often consumers get to taste the finished product, but never really get to taste the wines during the winemaking process. They're actually going to taste barrel samples. unfinished wine.
Yeah, those bottles don't look like the regular stuff you see on the store shelves.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's some lab bottles here that they bottled up, and again, this is going to be the same process that our winemakers are going to do in the next couple of months, and they'll get a chance to do a sneak preview of it, and hopefully they'll go out in the next 2 years when the 2009 vintage releases, and they'll taste the finished product and look back 2 years prior, having been a part of that process.
Describe to me the taste, since I haven't tasted it yet. What makes this a fantastic wine?
I'll say it really boils down to the vineyards. World-class wines are made in the vineyards. So I go back to, we control and own our vineyard sourcing, and 85% of those 14,000 planted acres of vineyards we have are all grown at high elevation. In fact, 4 of the 5 of these components are all mountain fruit, and they grow at anywhere from 600 to 2,400 feet in elevation, and the significance.
Peter. Yeah, we could go on.
I know. I wish we had a half hour.
I wish we had 2. Well, thank you so much. I hope a lot of folks turn out to see you tomorrow, because it's going to be a fantastic event. Remember, make sure you go and check out Crushing Cuisine this weekend. Ryan Foxy Phillips is your host tonight, and Roxy will host tomorrow night's event. It's all taking place at the Westin Diplomat Resort and Spa at 3555 South Ocean Drive in Hollywood. For ticket information, just log on to crushandcuisine.com or give them a call at 561-243-3073. Your seminars tomorrow is at 11:30?
Correct.
All right, so get on out there. Let's get on over to Natalie for more of my friends. Elmo.
Yeah, we're